Back on the SportsMax zone, West Indies Test batsman Jermaine Blackwood stroked 100 for the Jamaica Scorpions against the Ghana Harpy Eagles on day one of the fourth round of the West Indies four-day championship. These matches played in Trinidad and Tobago at stumps. The Scorpions were 282 for 6, led by Blackwood's 110. Let's look at the scores in that match and the other matches so far. Blackwood 110, Alwyn Williams 51, bowling for the Harpy Eagles. Kuda Kishmoti 2 for 39 and Kevin Sinclair 2 for 74. The Scorpions won the toss and chose to bat. The Leeward Islands scored 301 for 9 in their 90 overs. Colin Archibald, the left-arm medium fast bowler, 104 not out. His first-class 100. Jamal Hamilton, 52, bowling for the Windward's Volcanoes. Preston McSween, the left-arm pacer, 4 for 78, and Kenneth Denver, 2 for 77. The Hurricanes had won the toss and chosen to bat. Problems for Trinidad and Tobago in the other game. The TNT Red Force, 133 all-out. Imran Khan, 29, Terence Hines, 25. Jamel Warwick on the left-arm spin bowler, 3 for 21. Akeem Jordan, the pacer, 2 for 17. And the Barbados Pride in their first innings reply, 87 for 2. Raymond Reed for 32, not out. Shane Mosley got 24. Terence Hines got 2 for 33 so far for the Barbados Pride. The Pride trailed by 46 runs. The TNT Red Force, for the second week in a row, having problems with their batting, an issue that I suspect that Mariah Ramharak, the TNT in the house, could probably explain.
Well, I can't explain. I don't even think the batsmen themselves can explain what's happening to them, Lance.
Yes.
But what I will say, it's not a good look, because you make the same errors in the first match. You come back, I would think that you got the rest, you had the conversations that you need to have. And the truth is, when you look at these names on papers, a lot of these TNT cricketers, I know them personally, they have a lot of potential. As I said, they look really good on paper. To see today that at lunch, we were 54 for 5 at lunch. Just about to go have lunch. It's just not a good look, Lance, and it was a recipe for disaster.
Yeah, I heard Wendell Coppin, the Barbados manager, on the Best and Guest and Mason show, suggesting that Barbados would rebound from the loss that they had last week. And we need to remember that last year when they won the championship, they had lost the first game badly. So pretty much suggesting that they have a bad game every season so they can recover. So they've made a good start here against the TNT team and on course to taking control at 87 for 2, replying to 133. But George, we were talking off air about Colin Archibald with that 100. Second time lower order batsman is getting 100 in the last couple of weeks. Kuda Kishmoti, the Ghanaian spinner, with 100 last week.
Yeah.
And here we have Archibald, who prior to now hasn't shown the kind of batting quality to make 100, and it was a rapid 100 as well. I think 104 not out of about 93 or 94 balls, so he slapped the bowling all over the place.
Selector George, you were looking for these players.
Yes, and so for me, so I've seen one thing that I wanted to see. I've seen ability. I want to see consistency. So I'm watching Moti and I'm watching himself, and I'm going to draw a line through their batting performances and hope that there are big dots to connect as I plot whether these men can stand up and claim places. Lance, Mariah, these boys should know that there are several places available in this West Indies team. That's what they should be aiming for. This is not a team where no matter how many runs you make or wickets you take, you won't get a call.
Yes.
Everything is up for grabs.
Okay.
His name is Selector George from now. Yes?
Selector George. All right. Staying with cricket, veteran commentator Joseph Reds Pereirra, who had a birthday last week, well, he believes Cricket West Indies has dropped the ball by only allowing 13 players plus 2 reserves to be named in the franchise squads for this West Indies four-day championship. Reds believes all travelling players should be eligible for selection, especially with a shortened first-class season. He joins us now on the SportsMax zone. Reds, we did say a happy birthday to you last week. I hope you have been well. But as usual, issues of West Indies cricket concerning you. This latest, the numbers allotted to teams limited to 13.
Yes, I was very surprised, Lance, on your panel, that we eliminated 12 players before a ball was bowled. I mean, this is the shortest first-class season in the world. The selectors want to see players. They captains and vice captains want to see their players, right? The West Indies selectors want to see their players. The Caribbean public want to see their players. Why are you just taking out 12 players as traveling reserves when, in fact, we need to have as much first-class cricket being played from our players? Just to go back to the point you make about the Trinidad performance, there's a story coming out of Trinidad today where Darren Ganga is questioning the selection of the Trinidad makeup. Now, I don't know if he's really got all his facts correct, but that's a story because of the poor run of form. But I think basically I was surprised when I called Trinidad to find that they are traveling reserves and they have no chance of playing unless there is injury. The other factor I want to make a point about is we are off to Holland, I think, already. Why didn't the West Indies board negotiate a situation where at least we would have completed the season before initially signing the contract with the Dutch, so that we could have left Trinidad with everybody getting a shake in the first-class season, which is vital to Bangladesh coming up in June, Antigua and St. Lucia. I'm not too sure about the details of the planning there.
Yeah.
It does not happen with other ICC countries.
Yeah, Reds, I was just thinking, though, that given the fact that the last 3 rounds have been concentrated in Trinidad and Tobago, there may have been constraints from a cricket West Indies standpoint to get the last phase of the first-class season off, with the COVID-19 issues and so on, and all of the teams just in one destination, that could have influenced the numbers and how they have treated this.
Well, instead of starting on the 18 lands, to be a logical thing to think about, why not start on the 16th of May? You have gotten 2 days out of the way there. And back to the pressure of playing back-to-back matches with very little rest time, people probably suffering from a little bit of soreness. It almost begged the question, why are they sticking to naming 13? It's really hard to understand. I don't know if it's coming from the cricket committee. I don't know if it's coming from the director of cricket, Jimmy Adams. I'm not too sure it's coming from the selectors. They all want to see players play.
Yeah, all right, Reds, we've got to leave it here, but very, very quickly before we leave, we were talking just before we joined you in this discussion about these 2 lower order batting efforts, Colin Archibald today and Gudakesh Moti last week, getting hundreds, surprisingly. Your take on these lower order batsmen getting big scores when, to be quite frank, we haven't seen batsmen, even top order batsmen, flourishing in regional first-class cricket?
Well, both are a revelation. We do not know enough of them at the club level in their respective countries. But maybe they've been notching up little 30s and 40s and building to that kind of breakthrough. Yeah. But it's very, very good to see someone like Moti. Just reminds me a little bit of Vittori, the New Zealand captain, who started as a left-arm spinner and developed as a quality all around the lands. Yeah,
Archibald did have 1 first-class 50.
Exactly.
So I'm just saying that to support the point that you made, that maybe there were signs prior to now that these men could actually go on to get big scores. But Reds, thanks for talking to us. We'll be monitoring the Dutch trip because the team has arrived there, as you had alluded to a short while ago. The West Indies white ball game hasn't been very good, but we do expect them to do well against the Netherlands. Thanks, Reds.
And good evening to all. And good evening to all.
Yeah, Reds Pereirra there. We go to break. When we come back, Mariah will have the second zone updates.
Thank you for watching SportsMax on YouTube. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe, and click the notification bell to stay informed.